Tonight, we're getting an update on the IMPD officer who is recovering after a man in a downtown drive-thru hit the officer with his car. A second officer shot the man in the car last night.
Now, both the officer and the suspect went to area hospitals for care. Our Emily Longnecker has new information released by Metro Police today. Emily.
Yeah, IMPD says the officer who was hit last night in this CVS drive-thru at 16th in Meridian was actually released from the hospital last night without any significant injuries or broken bones.
IMPD Chief Chris Bailey released a statement on the officer-involved shooting. It's the 13th time this year an IMPD officer has shot at a suspect, but only the 12th time someone has been injured or killed. After giving an update on the officer, Chief Bailey said, quote, "On behalf of the entire department, I want to thank the community for their outpouring of prayers and well wishes. We ask that you continue to keep this officer and all our officers in your thoughts as they work to keep our city safe."
Officer down, 1545 North Meridian.
This was the scene late Thursday afternoon. Dozens of police cars and flashing lights, all centered on this CVS drive-thru after an IMPD officer shot a suspect outside this CVS. Police say it started when officers were called to check on an unresponsive man who was in his car in the drive-thru. According to IMPD, when police got there, they knocked on the car's window, turned on their lights and sirens, and shined flashlights into the car, but couldn't get the man to wake up. Police say after about 4 minutes, the man opened his window and started talking with police. An officer then opened the passenger door to ask the man if he was okay. That's when police say the man got out of the car, but didn't answer officers' questions. Police say the man then got back into his car with the driver's side door still open. That's when an officer reportedly grabbed the man's arm and told him to get out of the car. Police say instead the man put the car in reverse, hitting the officer with the driver's side door, pinning him between the car and a brick wall. According to police, another officer then shot the driver, who then obeyed commands to show his hands and get out of the car and onto the ground.
And police have not released the name of the man who was shot or an updated condition, but last night they said that he was in good condition at a local hospital. At 16th and Meridian, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Thank you, Emily. The officer who shot the suspect right now is on administrative leave. We're told that is standard procedure as the investigation gets underway.
And tonight, we're learning a man shot by IMPD officers about 3 weeks ago has died.
The Marion County coroner confirming to 13 News that 25-year-old Julius Hill died from the injuries he suffered from that shooting that occurred on October 27th. This happened near 10th Street and North Sherman Drive, right in the middle of the day.
A woman accused Hill of carjacking her at gunpoint and forcing her to drive around the east side. She took a chance, stopped the car when she saw police, and told them what was happening.
Investigators say that Hill refused to put his hands up when police directed him to do so. They say he instead pointed a gun in the direction of the officers. An officer then shot Hill before using a taser on him.
A 13-year-old Greenwood boy could now face more serious charges after the 13-year-old boy he's accused of shooting this past Sunday died.
That's a very sad update to share with you today. Rich Nye has a look at what we now know about the victim and also has a reaction from his school.
13-year-old James Davis was shot in his Greenwood home on Sunday before 1 a.m. Police believe Davis and 5 other juveniles were playing with a gun inside the house when another 13-year-old boy allegedly pointed the gun at Davis and pulled the trigger. After the shooting, police say everyone took off. Police say the shooter allegedly called 911 20 minutes later. Davis's parents were apparently home the entire time, awakened by police at the door to discover their son shot.
James Davis was brought to Riley Hospital for Children on Sunday in critical condition. On Thursday, he died as an organ donor, saving the lives of others.
Greenwood Middle School sent a message to parents saying in part, "As we all process this loss, GMS will provide additional support for students and staff in the coming days." Tonight at 6, the Johnson County prosecutor discusses the possible charges for the alleged shooter, now that the case is a homicide. In Greenwood, Rich Knight, 13 News.
Investigators have not yet said where they believe the teens got that gun that was used in the shooting. The charges against the suspected shooter may not become public until an initial hearing set for later this month.
The new Center Township Constable is cleaning house. Kenneth Allen just fired all the deputy constables appointed under the prior constable, Denise Hatch. Hatch was removed from the Marion County office recently after pleading guilty to official misconduct and gun charges. A few of the deputy constables she appointed also got into some legal trouble earlier this year. And investigators have not said where the teens got that gun. That was a part of the previous story.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We had a little bit of a technical error there. I was trying to give you a quick alert like that's coming, but I didn't want to interrupt you. All right. So we do have other news now tonight, and it's really about development downtown for a site that we're all familiar with. Crews are starting pre-demolition work at Jail 1 downtown. This is that building right next to the Transit Center. It's right across the street from Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick looks into what's next for this now vacant property.
New fencing and concrete barriers outside the former downtown jail as the city prepares to tear it down.
Close 35.
Jail 1 first opened in the 60s, with the last inmates leaving in 2022 as services shifted to the new criminal justice campus. As for what will replace the jail, that's still unknown, but nearby businesses are curious.
I mean, we're a few blocks from the Circle, and there should be something that adds to the culture of downtown as opposed to just sitting vacant and dirty.
The demolition efforts come as the city looks to build a soccer stadium nearby and woo an MLS team. Plus, Gainbridge Fieldhouse is right across the street. Some wondering if the Pacers or Fever will expand their downtown footprint. Right now, the city has not started accepting bids for redevelopment.
Again, the city tells us this is all pre-work, but once the permits are approved, they will set an actual demolition date. In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostick, 13 News.
Now, we did reach out to Pacers Sports and Entertainment to see if they're interested in the property. We're told the organization is thinking about the Fever's future, and they are already at the early stages of exploring options to enhance the training facilities of that team. But at this time, they do not have a time frame or location to announce.
The power is back on tonight at the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
Well, the fairgrounds had to temporarily close after losing electricity just after 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now it's back open, and you can still check out its Christmas Night of Lights if you have tickets.
Yeah, that's why the power on being there is important to you. At one point, there were 26,000 customers from Geis and Castleton in the northeast part of the city, all the way down to the area that the Children's Museum, including the State Fair, that were without power today. At this hour at 5:07, we're told most of the customers have their electricity restored.
Yep, we'll be working to see what caused that. We got some questions, but we probably won't know today.
Well, and you mentioned the Christmas lights, so my mind immediately went to Christmas Vacation with the switch and the plug and all of that not working.
Yes.
The overload.
Yes.
Oh, Christmas lights would definitely brighten up that view. We have lots of clouds across central Indiana today and temperatures that have struggled. We're only in the upper 40s right now for most of us. 47 degrees Morse Reservoir, 49 Bunker Hill, cloudy and 48 in Tipton and in Carmel. Temperatures will stay in the upper 40s, close to 50 with the clouds sticking around this evening. Regionals tonight for high school football. The weather issue overnight, the potential for some patchy fog, and it is going to be a cooler night provided we get some clearing, expecting temperatures in the low 40s as we start our Saturday. From there, we'll climb into the mid 50s. If we get a little bit of late day sunshine, a few places end up in the upper 50s. We're expecting 60 to 65, still more clouds than sunshine in your Sunday forecast.
All right, thanks so much, Angela. And don't forget, you can track the forecast all weekend long if you have the Live Doppler 13 weather app as a free download, and you can find it in your phone's app store.
A southern Indiana sheriff believes investigators may have found the body of a missing mother in the same area where she was last seen.
Right now, they are still waiting on autopsy results to confirm the person's identity. But Amanda Martin disappeared 2 months ago in Scott County. The sheriff says they're almost certain that the human remains that they found in the woods about 8 miles east of Scottsburg belonged to her.
Martin's family previously told our Louisville sister station they found her belongings at her home. They also found her AC unit kicked out.
Right now, the sheriff says he's not speculating on the case, like questions like, is foul play involved?
At this point in time, we've got a lot of questions, a lot more questions than we do answers, obviously.
Some of those answers will start with the findings from that autopsy report. The sheriff's office continuing to investigate her disappearance while they wait on that positive potential ID.
A man is under arrest in Fayette County tonight, accused of dealing drugs after sheriff's deputies busted what they call a marijuana dispensary. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office shared these pictures that you see here. This is what they found. It includes nearly 17 pounds of marijuana, edibles packaged to look like popular candies and cereals, as well as other THC products, and products including hallucinogenic mushrooms and even meth. Deputies also found nearly $8,000 in cash as well as 2 guns.
All Hamilton Heights high school events scheduled for tonight are postponed, and this is in response to the death of the school's beloved principal, Jared Mason. As you recall, we reported earlier this week, Mason died Tuesday. He was in the ICU after being sick for a little more than a week. Students, staff, and family showing a big outpouring of support for him and for each other in that community. A celebration of life will be held to honor Mason Sunday afternoon. That will be at the Hamilton Heights Student Activity Center. We have all the details about that event and how the community is coming together and reacting to the loss on our website right now under Scene on 13. You can also find that coverage with this QR code as well. In the meantime, the high school's athletic events tomorrow will happen as scheduled, and then in-person classes resume Monday.
A new facility for workforce training and education is coming to Hancock County. Look at this. The county broke ground today on a 106,000 square foot facility called Amplify Hancock. This is in Greenfield. The county hopes to provide students training for things like manufacturing, construction, and IT careers, plus trades like carpentry and welding. It is set to open in 2026.